We are to meet at 8:25 to do the We Move for Coral 5K. We are heading to our excursion.
Well, we're gonna need about 5 minutes. I'm just waiting to see if we have.
Mom, stand up and show us your shirt. We Move for Coral.
Right? We use it to make concrete. So they made this island to mine this mineral, and after in the late 70s, they started to use it to extract sand that was mostly sent to U.S. to barricade the Florida coast against hurricanes and natural disasters. After that, it was abandoned, and all the machinery used was left here. So this island was a dumpster until 2015, when MSC purchased it from the government of Bahamas for $22 million US. And we have a lease that allows us to use this island for 70 to 100 years. Okay. After that, we turned this island into the paradise you see now. Everything that you see here, from the trees, the buildings, all the structure was built by MSC. And after that, with the MSC Foundation, we turned the Ocean Cay into a marine reserve. So this area is also an area of protection for sea life and all wildlife of Bahamas. Okay, that's why you're not authorized to fish here. You cannot take the shells with you because they serve as housing, the house for the little creatures of the sea. So that's why we cannot take it from the island. Paper, we don't. Plastic's not authorized here, so everything that we use is reusable. All the glasses and everything is made of acrylic, so we can reuse it, make it the hygiene and reuse it. And we also not authorized to make any advertising. We're using paper in the island for you guys as well. Okay? So we're coming from here. We're going to our pavilion now. A lot of people. Oh, very nice. Caroline.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ah, that's it. Could be a little bit better, huh? You guys drink coffee? Are you sure? Well, I have to walk slow. I walk too fast. So
I get accused of that myself.
Huh?
I get accused of that myself.
Yeah, so I have to remember every time to go slow.
My husband threatens to get a leash for me to slow me down.
And you.
She asked if she was the oldest in the group.
Oh, yeah. My grandma is 89.
Wow, that's
just
great.
like you. Very, very active. She cooks every day. So, guys, this is our welcome pavilion. Would you like a picture here? I can take it for you. We have transportation pavilions all around the island. It's like a bus station, bus stop, where you can get here if you don't want to walk around the island. You get here, and they will transport you all around. Our public transportation, but not so public, right? You paid for it already. The first stop, it's the Lighthouse Beach, the one we had the party yesterday. Did someone here came to the party?
No.
Very good. I wish I could. I had to work.
We had to sleep to get ready for this.
Huh?
Just kidding.
I wish.
You guys came down and walked.
So we had the party here yesterday, the Luna party. And this is also the closest one to the ship. When you get out of the ship, it's the closest one. It's the one that gets more crowded as well. Because, people have to walk less to come here. And it's the only one. We have the fixed umbrellas. The umbrellas, you don't need to rent. You can use them. It's only here. And as you can see as well, this island has a lot of trees and native plants. They were all planted here. We have up to now around
Watch out.
5,000 trees planted. Let's make some space here, guys. Sorry. We have around 5,000 trees planted here. They're all native from Bahamas, and around 75,000 indigenous plants that are indigenous species as well. When they first inaugurated the island in 2019.
19.
Oh, lots of traffic today. In 2019, when they first inaugurated the island, we didn't almost have any plants here. One of the main complaints we learned with it from the guests is that they didn't have shades to, cover themselves from the sun. But thank God, nowadays this is not a problem anymore. So, as you can see there, next to the Lighthouse Beach, we have our lighthouse. Our lighthouse is 100 feet tall, around 30 meters tall. And it's all covered by LEDs. You've seen the LED show yesterday. Yep. Beautiful, right? These LEDs, they are removed when we have bad weather, so they cannot get damaged. It's a lot of work.
That's what I was thinking, a lot of work.
Yeah.
How long is...
So it is an actual real lighthouse, guys. It works as a signing for the ships around the island. Okay? That's so true that from time to time we have some Bahamian authorities here to check upon the island and the lighthouse to see if it's working properly.
How long does it take to get the bulbs out each time? How long does it take to...
I have no idea, because every time they are doing this, we are not here.
Oh, okay.
But I bet it's a lot of time. But, we have professional people living in the island just to take care of it. So,
do they evacuate the employees?
Everyone. When we have hurricanes, and everyone is evacuated from the island.
Okay.
They prepare the island and then evacuate. Morning. Hey. Morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. So, also, as you have noticed, we have around the island at least one bar per beach, but most of the beach have at least 2 bars. So you guys can grab all the drinks package work here, so you can use your drinks package. And everywhere also we have the beach snacks containers that you guys can grab food as well, and it's included. So what should you do if you get lost in the island?
Walk towards the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Look towards the ship. You can see the ship from everywhere in this island. So this is your north.
Beacon.
Every time you get lost, just look where the ship is and go to that direction. So, a guest asked me yesterday why we cannot be after 11 p.m. in the island. That's a great question. We cannot be after 11 p.m. in the island if you're not a resident here, because we don't have lifeguards around. So for your safety, for the crew members on the ship's safety, we're not allowed to be here after 11 p.m. Okay? So, if you go this way, you will get to the lighthouse. But as a dead end, we're going this way. If someone wants to take a picture, we can go half the way to take a picture, or you can come here later.
I already got it.
So we go this way, guys. This way, we are going. The next stop. Yes, go!
Woohoo!
Run! See you in the Marine Conservation Center. Stop by there. So this way we're going to the Sunset Beach. The sunset. You're going to run too? Go, go, go. That's it.
Woohoo!
I'm with you guys on spot. So this way we're going to the Sunset Beach. It's the beach that gets less crowded. So if you want to go to a place, a quiet place, relax, no music, no people making noise, a good place to pray. If you are a prayer, go there. It's a very good place to pray, to meditate. It's very quiet. Almost nobody goes there. Woo! We have a lot of Spartish people here today. I love it.
You're not going to have many left.
Huh?
You're not going to have many of us left.
Okay. Let people do their thing. Freedom is something very important. It's so hard to get. When you have it, enjoy it.
How are things in Brazil?
Things in Brazil are okay. Yeah, it could be better, but it could be bad. So.
What about freedom and
Huh?
what about freedom and things like that in
Freedom.
Brazil?
Well, we are. Well, it's like in the U.S.
Okay.
We have rights of freedom, and yeah, people are free to express themselves. Of course, if your freedom of speech is not endangering anybody else's life or dignity, you are free to speak. You are free to go anywhere in the country, outside of the country if you have a passport and naturalization. So yeah, it could be better towards like quality of life for some people, but I mean, we can always improve. But I love my country, huh? I will not trade it for anywhere else. So guys, this here is our second buffet. This buffet was constructed last year. Before we had only one. Now we have this buffet as well. And I think it will not be open today as we are departing at 12. But it's open for lunch and dinner when the ships are in the island.
Oh, dinner also?
Huh?
I didn't know they did dinner on the
Yeah,
island.
because we can stay until 11. So they,
Oh, cool.
I think it's just snacks here.
Is it the same food at both restaurants? Or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Same food. All the food in the island come from the ship. Everything that you eat, you drink, come from the ship here. And all the garbage, it'll go back to the ship to be released in the mainland. Like,
We brought it, we take it
Huh?
away. We brought it, we bring it back.
exactly. We brought it, we bring it back, and we discharge it for the right companies that will recycle it. Everything that all the garbage on board is recycled. Plastic, paper. The only paper is not recycled is the paper that have personal data of our guests. That has to be incinerated for, confidential. Just to protect your data, so we cannot share it. But the paper, plastic, metal.
Oops.
Okay, guys, let's make some way here.
Hello, good morning.
Also, the water is treated. We have all the water that we use is desalinated, so it's taken from the sea. Not the drinking water. The water we use for the showers, for the cleaning, is desalinated. Is that a word? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And the water we use after, it's held in a tank and it receives a treatment before it is released to the sea. So we have two types of water. We have black water and brown water. Black water is the water from the toilet, the water from the medical center, and the water from the kitchen. Brown water is the water from the shower, the water used on the laundry, depending on the chemicals they use there, and the water they use to clean the ship in general. So these two types of water receive two types of the different types of treatment.
Gotta move.
They're going the other way.
And then after, when we are 12 12 nautical miles off, outside of the seacoast. It is released back to the sea after the treatment. Also the food. Okay, guys, we stop here. If you go this way, you will get your wedding pavilion. We have a special place for weddings in the island weddings. We gotta see it in the other side as well, from afar. We don't go there because it's a dead end, so we have to go and come back. Don't have time, but if you want to visit later, it's very beautiful. It's a special place we have for the weddings on board. You can have your wedding on board, huh? If you're not married yet, you're thinking about it.
The helicopter pad's out there too.
Yes, helicopter pad is out over there as well.
The coral-looking structures that's out at that end, is it natural or was that something constructed to look?
The corals is...
It looks like, I don't really know what the structures are.
If it is coral structure, ma'am, it is natural. I've never seen it with the low tide, so I don't know. But we have a shipwreck around, someplace around here.
Oh.
And this shipwreck was not, it was done on purpose, so you guys can snorkel around, and we have some corals there. So this is the South Beach in our lagoon. Our lagoon is the best place. Let's make some space, guys, a little bit. Our lagoon is the best place for families because it's the shallowest place in the island. So parents can be like more relieved to have their children there, you know? And it's the one that gets more crowded as well. Well, somebody told me, I don't know if it's true, I will get this information today because I want to confirm it, that we have a shark nursery there with 2 baby sharks. Salt and pepper. As well.
Salt and pepper were released, there's 2 new babies we were talking about yesterday.
You know?
Right back. Yeah.
You know, now he confirmed to me. But don't worry, if they are baby sharks, they don't have teeth yet. So you can swim around.
Now, in there.
Huh?
Yeah, so they're out.
Sharks are in the lagoon.
Yeah.
2 new ones
There is
that
some parts
migrated
of the
in.
lagoon.
We were talking about that with our driver guide.
Yeah, that's great. Well, guys, as the coral reefs were being taken care in the island after the construction, the wildlife started to come back as well. Sharks were not being seen here before, now they are coming back. Turtles are coming back. Many species of fishes are coming back, which is great.
But I forget what they were called.
This flower here is native from the region of Florida, it's native from Bahamas, and you can find it in the whole South America. From Mexico
To Hawaii.
Hawaii as well, but I'm not sure if it's native from Hawaii though.
I don't know.
But you can find it there.
Yeah, I know.
And it has a very strong scent, and you can find it in many colors. Does someone want to go to the bathroom very quick? No? No bathroom stops here? Perfect, let's go. So this is our main buffet. It was the first one built. And the main one, the one that gets more crowded as well because it's close to the lagoon. You see, there is a wedding pavilion over there. Yeah, we'll be able to see better. I'm just slowing down. So I remember, okay, I'm running too fast. Okay, guys, let's make some space for the rolling here. Go, Coach.
Hello, good morning.
Keep going. all around the island, we have rental points for umbrellas, kayaks, for excursions. Those are one of them. Those are one of these rental points we have. You can recognize these rental points. They have like long flags. Here you go, guys. Great. You guys notice we are a construction site as well. We have it there. This is new housing that's being building for people that will be hired for another island being constructed this way. I don't know if you guys seen it yesterday. This island will be used for the explorer journey ships when they come here. When they come here, now they are using this island, but then they will have their own island there. Explorer Journey is another brand for MSC, but they are like smaller ships, all the ship yacht club, and they do like more extend cruises for almost 100 days sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Hey, go!
I took a shortcut.
We have our world cruise as well. You spend 4 months or more going around the globe. See, there's the island over there.
Will it have a different name?
Well, I don't have this information yet.
Okay.
But probably yes. It's all very secretive.
Will it be about the same size as this
No,
island?
it's much smaller.
Smaller? Okay.
So the people that will work there will live here because of the structure. The structure here is prepared for housing.
So that answered some of my questions I had yesterday.
Here we have the crew cove. This is the beach reserved for the employees that work in the island and on board of the ship. Our crew beach. Sometimes you can see some crew members playing volleyball here or so at this point, where we cross to the north part of the island. This side there we have the north beach, and on the other side the Bimini beach.
The lagoon.
When we cross the bridge here, we're gonna meet some residents of the island. Let me show you them.
All of the rocks and boulders are from Nova Scotia, aren't they? The rocks and the boulders from Canada.
Yeah. The rocks are all transported here then.
From Nova Scotia, Canada.
Yeah. So those are the residents I was talking about, guys. Can you see them there? Our iguanas. Oh, it's moving. Nice. You see a bunch of them over there. I don't know how they got here because they are not native from this island for sure. But now they are here and they are part of the island. We gotta name them.
George, Fred.
Yeah, but the problem is you name them, then you cannot tell one by the other. So you don't remember which one is the one you named.
My theory is during storms they might have been washed out this area, this way.
Well, they must find a place to hide because for sure they are not evacuated. I bet they must hide under the rocks, but then the sea will wash them off. Let's go to the Bimini Beach. Before we get to the Bimini Beach, we'll pass by the Yacht Club private beach. Let's see. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Puerto Rico and the iguanas are up in the trees and they fall into the trees.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. Well, these iguanas here,
They jump. They
yeah, they jump. But in Brazil, where I come from, they are much bigger. They look like alligators. I come from a region of Brazil that's not near to the coast, like more to
Inland.
inland, like 3,000 kilometers from the coast of Brazil. So we have a lot of wildlife there. So this is the Ocean House. This is the Yacht Club private beach. See? And usually there's someone in the entrance here. Good morning. Good morning, y'all.
Y'all, morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
On this side, guys, we have the Bimini Beach. Bimini Beach is the closest point in the island from the Bimini Island. Bimini Island is the closest place where we have an airport. Okay, it's a small airport, but it works very fine. When some emergency happens here in the island, it's to the Bimini Airport that we take the person that needs, medical attention to get them to the mainland. And also it's here in the Bimini Beach is the best place, so if you want to snorkel, if you want to do some stand-up paddle, if you want to rent a kayak, they have also the jet skis here.
Good view of the ship.
Huh?
Good view of the ship.
Yeah, we getting to the place that you can get the best picture with the ship on the background. The good view of the ship here. Yay! Oh, they also have the water bicycles here. They're very, very fun. Hi.
stand-up paddleboard for you, like an elliptical. And the Colt, where they have it's fun.
Yeah.
You can do it.
You don't have to.
Right.
Good morning.
Hey guys. Hi, morning. So here is the best place to take a picture with the ship. If you guys would like to have it, I can help you.
Go ahead.
Right here. The island is working here. Gardening, maintenance, the trophy park driver, they're all from the island. Also, our scholars, the researchers that come
Do you want to go see if you can find the
biology,
duck
take care
up
of
there?
the supercoral program. Face here, please. Morning, everyone. Hi.
Good morning.
No, here you can see the island being constructed at this side. That's the new island we're gonna have here.
Okay, so that.
Oh, it's also here in the South Beach, they have a competition, a volleyball competition. They stop against the guests. Guess who wins every time?
The stop.
Huh?
The stop.
No, ma'am, the guests.
Well, the staff is so exhausted from taking care of us.
Oh, yeah. No, they're not. They actually, well, I mean, the company is very careful on selecting people for each role. So if you are a staff member, it's because you like very much to be around this kind of activity. You know?
Oh, okay, cool.
So yes, they work a lot, but they also like it. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win. You need to take some water. At the bar here, you can grab some water here. Going slowly. You can find us. Morning. Okay, so one more thing, guys. Most of the indigenous plants that we have here, they also give fruit. They are, I don't know how to say it in English. Yeah, they have fruits in it. So we can attract more birds. We're trying to attract wildlife to the island. You can see some birds around, but they're not that many. Hey,
We lost the path, so we created our own path.
no problem. As I told you, if you got lost, just look for the ship. But now you can join us again. We're going to the Marine Conservation Center.
Do the marine biologists live on the island?
Sorry?
Do the marine biologists
They live in the island, yes. They live in the island. I mean, they live in the island for 4 months, then they can go back home for a while, come back. But all the marine biologists that work with the project live in the island. And of course, all the people that work here to provide service and take care of the island live here as well. And we have university internees from CU University of California, Southern University of California, CU University, and Bahamas University as well. They come here to study the coral reefs and develop their own projects on coral reef restoration and preservation. So guys, this is our suburb, okay? Our villa. This is the housing provided for the people that work here on board. On the island, on board? No, I work on board. Believe me, it's much better than my cabin. I wish I could live here in paradise.
Do each of the villas have like their own kitchen or?
Well, they have communitary kitchen, like one big kitchen for everyone.
Does each person make their own meals, or do they have like a staff that cooks?
Staff,
Okay.
yes.
Sorry, I asked so many
No,
questions.
it's okay. You can ask. I'm here for it. I'm giving a tour. You can ask anything from me, guys. Regarding the island, the ship, I'm here to answer it. Like they have like general cuisine, and then staff that will cook for them. But also they have like a small cuisine that they can go if they want to, prepare something quick to eat. So here is the new house in their building. This is all new, and we have a new station over there as well. So guys, this side we have the desalinization station and the water treatment station as well. The water here receives the same kind of treatment that the water in the ship before it is released back to the ocean, okay?
Does it have to be taken 12 miles off the coast as well?
Yes.
Here? Okay.
And then they have pipes.
Oh, okay.
Do you know if the bougainvillea plants are native?
Sorry?
Are the bougainvillea plants native to the Bahamas?
Yeah, they're actually native from the whole America. So, like parts of North America, like in the south of North America, and Central America and South America. You can find them in Brazil as well, all the way to the south.
Ma'am, what are they called?
Bougainvillea.
Okay, thank you. They are gorgeous.
Yeah, they are. And they have lots of different colors. And they grow like tall trees. It's beautiful. And they get flowers. Wow. It's amazing. Breathtaking. You see some birds are coming.
Good morning. How close is the closest mainland?
It's Bimini Island. I don't know how much close it is, but it's the Bimini Island.
Okay.
That way. Bimini Island's, you know,
That direction?
all the way there. So we are back to the welcome pavilion here. We have some shops over there. I'm sure you guys have visited it already. Here is some housing as well. This is for the fancy people, the director, the doctor, they live here.
Do they have like a makeshift ambulance out of like a tram or a trolley if there's an emergency?
Sure, they have it, yes. They have all the, well, they have a medical center here in the island. They have one in the ship as well. Mostly when something happens here, the guest is taken to the ship.
Oh, okay.
So we have more nurses and we have three doctors, like 5 nurses there. We have paramedics. So the structure is a bit more prepared to take care of emergencies. That's why I have a radio with me. If something happens, I have to communicate with them. So here we have the Ocean Cay gift shop, Bahamas gift shop, and there we have the MSC and logo shop and MSC Foundation logo shop as well. Mixed. But you guys have my shop in the ship, and well, if you want to buy here as well, of course you can. Everything goes to the foundation donation.
I'm amazed at the banana and the bloom on the banana plant
Yes.
and the bananas.
Well, they actually, oh, you see, we have some bananas in this one. Are you going to be collecting yours?
Go on, Ed.
Good morning. Sorry.
You wanted a banana?
Pardon?
You didn't want a banana? They bananas.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe you can come here to get your scuba diving certificate for underwater welding.
Come in, guys. Enjoy the AC.
Alright, so good morning to all. My name is Jody. I am the guest engagement officer here at the Marine Conservation Center. And I know you guys are very curious as to what's on the panel, so I'm just going to go with this with you guys. So you guys, in the 1970s, Ocean Cay was actually an industrial site. And at that industrial site, they were mining a natural chemical called aragonite, which can be found in the material known as cement. And that material is used to construct a lot of houses, especially in the Caribbean and on the coastal regions, based on the natural disasters that usually it's prone to them, which is hurricanes, all right? So you guys, once this industrial site has left, this is what they've left behind, very unfortunately. So that was a lot of debris and scrap metal and also the chemicals as well. So they had to hire a lot of personnel to actually get rid of all of that. But the year prior to that, the MSC Cruise Line actually acquired this key right here from the Bahamian government on a lease, which is about 50 to 60 years, to develop it as a private destination. All right. Right over here in the era of 2015, this was the agreement with the president of the MSC Foundation, this is Mr. Vargo, and he's shaking hands with one of our former Prime Minister, Perry Christie, and then directly behind him in the olive shirt right here, this is Philip Brave Davis, our current Prime Minister of the Bahamas. And by the way, you guys, the Bahamas actually consist of over 700 islands and keys. And out of that 700 islands and keys, 21 of the islands is inhabited. All right? That's just a cool little fun fact for you all. So in 2019, we had the first MSC fleet that actually came and docked here at this private destination. And the name of that vessel is the Divina. It's a much smaller vessel as which you guys are on today. The year after that, which will be 2020, this is when we actually establish our program, which is called the Super Coral Reef Program. So this program is actually an initiative or a collaboration with the marine biologists and also American and Bahamian universities. If you guys are curious as to what the names of those universities are, in which we do have a partnership with, because they do come down here and we do like internships for them. It's North Southeastern University, the University of Miami, the Perry Institute for Marine Science, and then the University of the Bahamas. Right? So those are the current universities that we do have a partnership here with now. 2021, this is the groundbreaking event in which they've actually found this whole facility. And we do have one of the shovels mounted on the wall. And that shovel is, of course, Mr. Barnow's shovel. Okay. Right above, we have Sophia Loren. She is the godmother for majority of the ships for the MSC cruise line, if you guys aren't aware. And she's a very famous or known actress, not in my area, but back then. And we do have her handprint in honor of her, of course. Okay. Right here on this panel, if you guys take a good look at this, and this is actually our coral nursery. And our coral nursery is actually located offshore. So that's at least 1.5 miles from Ocean Cay. We have tons of boats in the marina. I'm sure if you guys have ventured around, you would have noticed that. And we can always take the vessel and then go to our coral nursery, do a little bit of maintenance when the algae is growing on them, or just checking their lengths and making sure that they're in the right and proper state. Okay. This facility, you guys, this has all been built and opened on April 10th. That was the exact date, so we're just 2 months in so far. We have an aquarium back there. We also have a lecture halls where we're going to be doing presentations with these interns, so on and so forth. There's a biolab to validate our research and do the research on these corals. There is the filtration system that controls the aquarium, and then there's also the discovery pavilion. So you guys are going to follow me back to the aquarium, and I'm going to elaborate more on what we're doing with these corals, how we're actually conserving them and making them more adaptive to fight against climate change, all right? So if you guys want to take some photos of this wall, of this panel, feel free to, but in a moment, we're headed right back there. Like everything. No, but anytime anyone comes in and they're curious. We're going to move right along, all the way to the left. All artificial corals. They are not real. That's why I'm touching them. Okay? We have a 3D printer. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but usually most people are. You can just type in whatever you want to print. Usually it just prints out whatever it is that you're typing in, and it adds the color to them as well. Do you guys want to hold it or pass it around? That's completely fine with me, so you guys get a much closer up look to it and maybe get your photos and videos. You can pass it around that side, okay? So you guys, the yellow ones, those are called the elkhorns. The blue ones, those are called the staghorns, and this purple one right here, this is called the M-cap, okay? So you guys, these are all replicas of the corals that's actually found in our region, which is still the Atlantic Ocean, if you guys aren't aware of that, all right? Now, if you guys are curious as to, well, what's the significance of having all of these tanks here, what is it gonna be doing? I'm gonna get right into that. So here in the aquarium, we're able to control the environment, like we're able to change the salinity of the water flow, the temperature, also the UV lights. So those are all factors that causes the corals to grow, flourish, and actually reproduce. Okay. Now you guys are wondering, well, why the corals? What's the significance of, conserving these corals, right? Rather than the other marine life that's in the ocean. Well, the corals, they actually filter out a lot of the CO2 emissions that's being released into the air by various of industries, whether that's airplanes, cars, factories, I mean, the list goes on. And that actually have an effect on the ocean, which actually has an effect on these coral reefs, all right? So usually when the conditions aren't fair for these corals, they have an algae that's actually living in the inside of them known as the zooxanthellae. And when that zooxanthellae isn't in the right condition, it actually releases itself from the coral, and that causes the coral to go in their acidification mode, or which is also known as coral bleaching. If you guys would like to see what coral bleaching actually looks like, if everyone can take a look right over here to my left on this panel, you would notice that this discoloration of the coral is usually a white color once the zooxanthellae releases itself out of the coral's reef. Now, a lot of people, when they're snorkeling or scuba diving, or when they're just coming into contact with the acidification mode or the coral bleaching, a lot of them presume that those corals are actually deceased. And the answer is actually no, they're not deceased. They're actually stressed. But if that environment persists, meaning that those conditions are still the same and it doesn't change, then eventually they actually go and die, or but what we're doing to stop that process of actually happening, by slowly progressing or changing the environment, we're making them much more adaptive or resilient. So I like to use the analogy, when you guys are working out in the gym or even doing your calisthenics and you want to soothe your muscles, you do usually an ice bath, which is, a very cold environment. The first time you do that ice bath, it's very excruciating, right? The very first time. But if you do that 5, 10, 20, 30 times, you're able to sit within that environment for a lot longer time, correct? So that's exactly or the concept of what we're doing here with this aquaria in turns for when we do plant those corals, for when we put them back into the ocean, so that during the summers, usually when they're going in that acidification mode because the water is heating up, that's prevented, okay? So that's the whole idea here. Now I have a question for everyone. Do you guys know how long these corals actually grow and live to? Does anyone wants to throw a number out there for the guess?
Thousands of years.
1,000 years. I heard 1,000. Anybody else?
Well, I was going to say 25, so that's way off.
I was going to say
30, but
I was going to say 150.
I was going to say 100.
100. Actually, you
150.
guys, these corals can live to about 5,000 years.
Oh, wow.
One coral, 5,000 years, which is quite a long time, And not just, about filtering, the CO2 emissions and the microplastics. There's been research for these corals for people who've had arthritis, cancers, there's been treatment for that. Amongst when we're really prone to having hurricanes or tropical depressions. Well, the corals actually breaks the impact, so our homes or our businesses doesn't get really affected. And then also, the corals are actually a habitat for over 35% of the marine life. So these corals are very important as a very factor in all of our lives that they're playing their role in. And you guys, if you're curious as to what they eat an animal called the zooplankton. And usually in the day, the zooplankton make their way to the surface, but at the night, they find themselves at the bottom, which is where the corals are at, because, they're considered sestiles. That's just another fancy word to say that they're stationary. They're not like you and I, they're not able to walk around or go in the kitchen and create food. So usually when the zooxanthellae actually makes their way to the bottom, they actually would take their hands out, extend their arms, and grab it for food, Fortunately, they don't have DoorDash or Uber Eats with the ocean. I'm going to come around and show you guys this cool photo of how this coral arm actually looks for when they do grab the zooxanthellae, okay? You guys see that? Yeah.
Oh, wow. No.
Very interesting.
I'm sorry, dear.
You're totally fine, sorry. I didn't even realize that.
I didn't either. I thought they were just there.
Yeah.
They're living organisms. They're not just rocks.
Pretty cool. Googling experience when we get home.
So you guys, now usually if you guys are wondering, well, how long does it take for them to be oak planted into the offshore nursery, which is the photo that was taken into the shop right there? It's usually like around 3 to 4 months. There's never like an exact time, you know. Especially even when it compares it to like, you know, human beings or even family members or kids. You know, some of us are much more physically or educationally inclined rather than others, and we come from the same mother and father, so it's the same with the coral reef actually. But usually within that time period, that's when we're actually planting them into the ocean right there, into our offshore nursery. So our goal is by 2027 to get at least 3,000 in total in all of these 25 tanks, and then 3,000 planted into the ocean. So that would be a total of 6,000 coral reef fragmentations that we have. And right now, currently, we have about 15 to 18 trees in our offshore coral nursery, which is the photo that you guys saw in the shop. And right now, we're up to at least 382 coral fragmentations, all right? Now, does anyone have any questions, any curiosity about what I just explained?
What is the success rate of them actually taking?
Living. Yes, so it's about 65% success.
Okay.
How long will you leave them in the nursery? Will you leave them there for?
So once they reach to that point, they stay there forever until they actually grow and develop into a whole coral reef. So that's the whole idea. We want to produce more healthy, resilient, or adaptive corals.
So you'll just let them grow like off of the tree into a reef?
Yeah, well, after they come off of the tree, we attach them with their seam colonies. So
Okay.
usually we would put the staghorns, as I spoke with earlier, with another staghorn. The elkhorns go with the elkhorns, and the M calves go with the M calves.
Okay.
And then
Got it.
these would actually flourish into a coral reef.
Got it. Thank you.
Not a problem.
So are you basically using these as like a grafting point? These 3D printed?
No, this is just to explain the concept for you guys.
Demonstration.
We're not doing anything with artificial corals because they're
This-
not able to reproduce or even grow. This is just for, you know, to get everyone a understanding of the concept of what we're doing with the real corals. And of course, it makes it much more interactive because you guys get to hold it, take pictures, photos with the real corals. You're not able to hold them at all, you know. So it's-
How do you actually get it started?
So we have a small coral fragmentation that we would take from a healthy coral reef, and that fragmentation would usually be about 2 to 3 centimeters, and then we're actually placed carefully because we have on protective gloves and everything, and then we're carefully putting them into these tanks and then shifting the environment progressively over time.
I saw that you had a sign over there that you can adopt a fragment and
Well-
watch the.
Watch it all grow. Yes. So those are some things that we're gonna, or programs that we're gonna be implemented
Okay.
once we get fully, you know, functional. As I mentioned earlier in the tour, you know, we're only 2 months in, and you know, there's a whole lot of work that's being done, as you guys can see. So those are some things that's gonna be coming
Future.
about.
Nice.
Yes, future within the program for sure.
Is there a specific area that you're taking the coral fragments from, or is it only here in the Bahamas?
Well, it's only within the Bahamian regions, yes,
Okay.
because we want to focus on these specific corals that's growing within this specific
just
region,
these three
which are
types.
these types of corals
Oh,
that
okay.
we're just, I'm explaining to you.
Natives.
Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there a specific depth that they grow best in?
Yes. So coral reef, they actually need the sun, so they need photosynthesis to actually produce the glucose within them. So we're usually planting them around 30 to 40 feet, nothing deeper, because you know, when it comes to sunlight into the ocean, it actually bends, so that's called refraction, whereas if you go to a certain depth, you don't get light down there.
And is there artificial ways in which you're trying to create that depth for them?
No, so that just comes naturally from the sun.
No,
you
I
know.
mean, as far as the sea depth itself, it's like areas being
Yeah,
modified in
well,
some ways.
usually in the Bahamas, actually the Bahamas, the Latin word for that is actually Bahamar, and that means shallow waters. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but our waters are very shallow. I'll give you guys a perfect analogy. This ship that's docked here, so that channel has been specifically dredged for that ship to actually be docked here. If the weather was bad, or if the captain was experiencing a lot of crosswind where the boat was like going left and right and not within the channel, they won't be able to dock here. And the reason for that is because our waters are very shallow. I mean, outside of the ship, it's only like 40, 60 feet. And of course, you know, if the boat shifts out to that channel, that's, you know, a bad look and a bad experience for us all, you know. So our waters are very shallow as to why we can be planting these corals specifically within our regions and on our coral missions.
Do you have to label or mark your nurseries out there
Most
to
definitely.
ensure that like other foundations or things are not?
Most definitely, and not just the area as well, but also the corals. The corals all also has a specific number to them all. None of the corals are actually has the same labeling or numbers. Yeah.
Keep track of your babies.
Any other questions, you guys?
Not so much coral, not so much specifically on the coral, but you guys have the same issue with like lionfish out here that they do off the coast of Florida?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've recently had some issues with the lionfish because, you know, they're very invasive. About 10 years ago, which is around the time when they migrated from Florida, actually, you know. But what the government has done is a lot of our animals are actually protected. And there's usually seasons in which you would actually go fishing for those certain marine life. So the lionfish specifically, they're not protected, so you can grab as much of amount as you would want to. And then they also have programs at different diving resorts. Like I worked down with Stewart's Cove before I started working here. And a lot of us actually, we had like this program where we would go fishing for those invasive species because they would actually, you know, basically make all of the animals around them prey. And of course, that's going to disrupt the biodiversity for, you know, the corals and then also the marine life. So that's one of the factors or things that the government has put in place. I think it's very similar to, you know, I spoke to some guests down from Florida and they told me that some people had imported some like exotic snakes. I think they're called pythons.
Pythons, yeah.
And, you know, recently you guys, they've had this recent hurricane named Helena or something like that. And so a lot of them had evacuated. And once they evacuated, the nest or the housing that they've kept those exotic animals in actually got released, and a lot of them are in the Everglades. And now the government that's in the United States, they've been, you know, putting out initiatives where you can actually go and catch them to, you know, to stop their reproduction and things like that because they're very invasive, and then you don't want them to get into homes or cause any casualties. So it's the same concept in which we're doing over here in the Bahamas. Any other questions, you guys? No? All right. So I'm glad I could fully explain everything to you guys and you guys got that understanding. As I mentioned, you guys, we do have a lecture hall. You guys are welcome to join me in there. There's tons of seats. I have another cool informative video I would like to share with you all. All right, so right in the floor.
In the lecture hall, they provided a video that I think I'll try to post separately. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye!